You're watching Griffin Sports Insider, presented by Spine and Sport Physical Therapy. Now, here are your hosts, Brett Easley and Ryan Menley.
Hello and welcome to the season premiere of GSI, the 3,345,000th longest running show in the history of television. I thought we'd moved up that list a little bit.
No, I think that's about where we are.
That's about where we are.
Hey, we kept our job. It's another year.
Amen to that.
This is season 3, and it's the fall kickoff edition. Lots to talk about, Brett Easley. Let's get after it. Griffin football kicks off the 2012 campaign this Thursday night against Central Missouri. The Griffins enter the year loaded with expectations and returning players. 17 starters are back from last year's 9-3 NCAA playoff qualifier, including the entire dominating unit dubbed Death Row.
The Griffin defensive line had 37 total sacks in 2011. 4 fifth-year seniors return on that line, including All-American David Bass, who is just a sack and a half away from becoming Missouri Western's all-time sack leader.
Oh my God, please help me knee deep in the river trying to get clean. He says wash your hands, get out the stains, but you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Yeah, you best believe, boy, there's hell to pay. Saying
Defensive line is one of the very best places to be good at. If you have a good D-line, you always have a shot to have a great defense.
We plan on dominating every game.
It starts with David Bass, obviously. He's a returning All-American.
He had 14.5 sacks last year. I'm expecting a bigger year out of him this year, honestly. I think he should do more.
You know, I'm fortunate enough to be a 4-year starter right now, so, I mean, with the hard work, it's definitely paying off. So I'm trying to come out here and have a better season than I did last year.
Fear no one, fear no human being, no matter what. If it's an All-American against you, it's a faceless opponent. It's nobody, we don't care.
There's a mindset that I demand that they carry, and that's, you know, I want them to have a physical, intimidating presence every time, whether it's practice or it's games. I expect them to be mean and be physical and be intimidating. That's just, if they don't play.
Griffin's secondary may be just as dangerous this season. Seniors Shane Simpson and Ben Jackson provide veteran leadership. Both all-conference players, both combined for 8 interceptions last season. The linebacking core will be led by sophomore Yami Ali. Yami had 16 tackles, 2 sacks, and 3 block kicks in 2011. The defense is stacked, and the offensive cover, it's stocked too.
Yeah, 9 returning starters on the scoring side, and the rushing attack will be the bread and butter. That's because Mike Hill is back for one more go. The senior running back coming off an All-American season in 2011, where he led the MIAA in rushing. Hill enters 2012 needing just 596 yards to become the school's all-time rushing leader.
You know, whenever I'm around guys like we have on the team now, who work their butts off, and I just carry off that, and it fuels me up. So
I hope he gets it, and I know we're going to try our damnedest to get him up there. So I mean, we'll get him there, and he works so hard, and he deserves every yard he gets, and he deserves that record.
Hill will have a talented, experienced offensive line to run behind. All 5 starters return up front, including All-American Megan Allen and All-Conference selections Colt Schulte and Brian Childs. Their main job, protect the quarterback. Travis Partridge returns for his 2nd season as Missouri Western starter. He emerged as a dual threat last season, throwing for 1,700 yards, rushing for more than 500 in his sophomore campaign. We saw Partridge improve as the 2011 season went on. The head coach's son says he's much more comfortable in his role this year.
This time last year, I'm not going to say I was nervous, but it was definitely a different feeling than what I feel right now. I'm kind of ready to get going, and year in the MIAA can do a lot for you.
I think he's worked really, really hard this offseason to be a great passer. He's got a great arm, he's a great thrower. He can be a great passer.
Partridge has plenty of targets to throw to, including 3-year starter Terrell Downing, who's led the Griffins in receiving each of the last 2 seasons. Wide receivers Tyron Crockham, Derek Livy, TJ Fannin, and tight end Reggie Jordan also back for another go.
Well, as for the kicking game, Greg Zuerlein is in the NFL now.
In the NFL, not doing very well, by the way. So the job falls to Taylor Anderson, who has the tall task of having to basically follow Superman. Only Ryan Mindley can do that. But Anderson, though, he has game experience. He filled in for Zuerlein when he was injured in the early part of 2011. And like Zuerlein, he's also a transfer from Nebraska-Omaha. He's not trying to replace a legend. He's just trying to be himself.
I'd like to play to the best I can. I know if I can do that, then I'm really going to be able to help this team out. I'm going to help them be able to win. And
well, consistent from 45 in. That's what we've talked about from the moment Greg left and with Taylor, and that's all we expect from the guys. Be consistent.
Griffins do have another returning weapon in the form of the punter. He's a good one, Australian Scott Groner. A phenomenon in his own right. He's a preseason All-American this season in just his second year of playing football. And speaking of legs, we'll check in with a former Griffin, now known as the Leg, in Rams camp.
And we'll talk Thursday night's season opener with head coach Jerry Partridge when GSI comes back.
I am a running back. My job is to carry the load. Need an inch? I'll take a yard. Maybe 10, maybe 30. Give me room and I'll be gone. Get in my way and I will run you over. I'm Michael Hill and this is Griffin Football.
I am your physical therapist. My job is to make you better. Go ahead, give me your worst injury. I can fix it. You can ignore that shoulder. You can go to someone else. Doesn't matter. To really get better, you gotta go through me. I'm Fred Schunkweiler, and this is Spine and Sport.
GSI on location in St. Louis at St. Louis Rams camp, where our focus is on the rookie kicker who's wasted no time becoming a weapon.
I've been around over years some really good kickers, but he's a little bit different.
He seems to be kicking the ball pretty damn far. We've been almost back at the 50, I feel like, kicking field goals, and it's pretty impressive.
The Rams finding out about Greg Zuerlein what Griffin fans already knew. He's ridiculous. The 6th round draft pick, consistently booming 50-plus yarders in practice here. No surprise, Zuerlein was 9 of 9 in field goals of 50 yards or more for Western last season. He's had plenty of news coverage in St. Louis and fandemonium. He's even earned the nickname from the media, Greg the Leg.
You know, it's pretty much exactly what I expected it to be. It's just a little bigger spotlight, and but kicking's kicking, and I love it.
He's here for a reason, because of his production and his accuracy and leg strength in college, and we expected to see some good things, but didn't expect to see at this point what we've seen. So now we just he has to pretty much carry over what he's done on the practice field and at our little scrimmage 2 weeks ago into games and get the opportunity.
And this is not some rags to riches Cinderella. It's a dream to play in the NFL story. Zuerlein knows he's good, meaning getting here is not the end game.
Throughout my college career, I thought I've had the ability, and I just needed the opportunity, and luckily the Rams are giving me an opportunity so far. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm still trying to win the job, and I'm going to keep that mentality until I know that I've won the job. And even then, your job is never safe, because you're a few misses away from them bringing a different guy, and so really you can never get comfortable.
Welcome back to GSI. Zuerlein 3 for 3 in field goals of 50 yards or more this preseason. He's 12 for 12 in the last 12 months of 50-yard field goals or more. Head coach Jerry Partridge joins us now. No surprise to see that.
No, not on our end. I mean, we anticipated that. I've been telling people that I think not only is he going to make a club, he could be Hawaii good, which is Pro Bowl every year. And then Aaron Bell the other day said, Coach, he may be Hall of Fame good. I don't know. We're getting ahead of ourselves.
Okay.
We'll see.
I think he's awful good.
Well, Coach P, it's game week. Obviously, people want to know, how camp's been. Are we healthy going into game week? How do you feel fall camp's been?
It's been good. I think they're tired of each other, a little bit playing against each other. We've backed off maybe the last 3 or 4 days and working in the central stuff. And they've been very efficient. They're certainly an experienced football team that kind of knows the ins and outs of a camp, and they know what their coaches expect of them, and they kind of know what to expect of each other. And so we've been relatively healthy. I mean, there's been some positions that have had their aches and pains, but I really feel like rolling into game week here, we're ready to play against somebody else.
We've talked all summer and really all year about expectations and where they are. We know they're high. And you talked to me back in August about balancing those expectations and that pressure with having fun. How have you done that, and how has that gone about?
Well, I talked about it with them. There's times that I think they have too much fun, and maybe that's just my paranoia. I don't know, but they you got to let them play a little bit, and they can't go out there Thursday night and feel like it's the end of the world if they fail, because I think they feel that way. You want a little of that where you'd rather perish than lose, but yet same token is you have to realize also you're not going to perish, so you'll just relax and play and not paralyze yourself through just being so intense and uptight. But expectations. I got asked that in a radio show today for the rival team. We actually got picked lower than we finished last year, and so we've got expectations every year. I mean, really, we do. We feel like we got a good club every year.
But you know where they are. I mean, you know where the inside expectations are. Just with everybody, they're always high, but with everybody coming back.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is you don't want to waste this senior class. It's a terrific senior class, and the one thing I've been trying to do too is just I want to enjoy them. That's the thing. Some of these kids that have been here for 4 to 5 years and just watching them grow, and you have that every time. But this is one of those special groups that there's really a lot of great players in this group, and so it's going to be difficult each step as you realize, hey, we're getting closer and closer to the end of coaching these kids.
Well, Central Missouri comes to town Thursday night. This is a Mules team that was a postseason club a year ago. They were 8-4. They were a team that last year came to town, and we had just come off an early season loss that we weren't expecting, and that was really the game that really brought us back. Central Missouri's got some question marks this year, maybe at quarterback. They're going to have some new players, but they've got high expectations as well. What do you expect from the Mules Thursday night?
Well, you're right. They've been in the postseason both years that Jim Swoboda's been there. Just don't know a lot about them. It's hard to answer those kind of questions. The things that you do know they're going to have speed at the receiving spots. There'll be some kids that can run. There's a kid they've put in at Wildcat, number 7. I just can't remember his name right now. But he's a kid that runs really well at receiver. They put him at Wildcat. He does some great things. Quarterbacks, that's up for grabs. I think there's a kid that's the same age as Travis. We did not recruit him out of high school, and he was been the guy going to camp. There's a kid that's supposedly ambidextrous, a transfer kid that's been there for over a year.
Quarterback?
Yeah, but I don't know what that good that does yet. But
does last year's opener against Pittsburgh State, the way that turned out, certainly we got a lot of experience on this team, and Central Missouri is going to get your attention anyway. There's no preseason in college football. Every week counts. But does week 1 last year, does that help get the attention of the club this year?
I think so. We got to avoid those kind of big mistakes probably a little bit. And I think certainly at the quarterback position we're more experienced than we were game 1 last year. Way more experienced. There's been a playoff game. There's been a few big wins. Some honors, and so I think the game's going to slow down a little bit. I think you got 5 fifth-year senior linemen that are a year better, and obviously a very good running back. So I think offensively, we anticipate having a better performance than we did early in the season last year.
We've had Easley's Tantalizing 2. That's what we ended up with last year. We've had Easley's Impromptu. Well, now we have Easley's Tantalizing Trio. It's not a dish at a restaurant. It's Easley's Tantalizing Trio, the season opening debut.
Different
3 questions.
3 questions
about things going on in the world, maybe sports, maybe not. And you tell me what the first thing pops into your head.
You ready?
Coming off the summer months, Coach P's summer family vacation was too this year.
We went to Branson.
Branson Mo. That's a good family vacation spot.
All we can afford.
Lovely. There you go. I would be remiss if I didn't ask you a Royals question. You're dating more. You've seen how the season's played out. You make one move right now. What is it?
Sell the team.
Right now at this second?
Yeah, this second. What do you do?
At this second, I don't think there's anything you can do. Try to trade Francoeur for some arms, but that won't happen.
Won't happen. Thank you. I'm tired of him striking out too, folks, by the way. And finally, serious question here. Finish the statement. Griffin football will be successful in 2012 if?
Don't beat ourselves. Connect the dots in the passing game.
That's simple enough.
There it is. I like that.
Jerry Partridge, thanks for joining us.
Good luck
on Thursday night. We'll talk more GSI when we come back.
I met Gerald in 2010. He came to me after an injury he sustained in Afghanistan back in 2008. And he described to me as he was in his Humvee and got blown up by a roadside bomb, and that he broke his back, he broke his hip, separated his shoulder. Working with a Special Forces soldier, to think about the demands that he's got to go through. It's a whole nother concept of training like the pros.
So I've had really good progress. It's been amazing, especially coming up here, working, utilizing the pool for the buoyancy factor, especially at the beginning, to kind of help the actual healing process. Like, I mean, I've kind of transitioned from actual mobility to stability, and lately onto strength and resistance and cardiovascular training.
And it took him 2 years and multiple surgeries, but it was fun to see him go from broken to back in the Special Forces doing what he does best, and that's serving the country. And he was a great inspiration to all of us to see him go through that transformation.
I am a Griffin.
I think the sky's the limit for us right now.
I am a Griffin. Griffin football means everything to me. It's my life. It's what I'm dedicated to. You know, I'm here for the team, for my brothers.
I am a Griffin.
We got more to play for. We got more to play for. You understand that?
This is Griffin football.
This is Griffin football.
In St. Joe, and volleyball, football, and soccer are signing posters for everyone and handing out our fall schedules. It's for the Paint It Gold Blitz.
It's to get people to come out and support us and to show them that we support them by helping them out here at Hy-Vee, you know, bagging their groceries.
It's cool. It's, you know, just like being in the community in St. Joe and everything, and seeing the actual fans just outside of the actual campus. It's really cool, actually.
Okay, they signed it for you. See that? I see sign.
We're on location at the Paint It Gold Blitz. We're here at Hy-Vee, and you know what? I think it's time to ask some folks a really, really serious question. Do you know what a Griffin is?
Yes, I do.
And?
I'd have to Google it again, but I have read the definition.
And do you all know what a Griffin is? We're with Mikey, a tradition here at Hy-Vee. We're asking him one really serious question. Do you know what a Griffin is?
You know, I know medical English is to the Hy-Vee is medical so.
Okay, excellent. That's good enough for me. Folks, how are we doing today? Would you mind if I ask you a real quick question?
Not really.
There you go, that was perfect. The question of the day simply, do you know what a Griffin is? It's a bird. Well, you know what? He's half right, folks.
I don't know. That?
He's right. We're 3 for 3.
It's a combination
3 for 3.
Whatever that is.
You got that right. Do you know what a Griffin is?
Yes, it's a mythical creature, half eagle, half lion.
You don't bet in college, but we had a lot of bets that maybe she didn't know what it was going to be, but she passed that test well. That's now 6 answers and 6 that aren't wrong. What's a Griffin?
A Griffin is the most dominant creature in the MIAA.
7 answers, 7 not wrong. There you go.
Welcome back. How do you say Griffin in Chinese?
Mikey put it best. Mikey did a nice job with that, didn't he?
Mikey's good. That's good stuff, Brett. Cool to see the community work. Meanwhile, the girls of fall get back to work.
That's right, they do. Griffin volleyball returning almost its entire team in 2012, but it's still a very young team that will take the floor this season.
It was so much fun to be back in the gym. It's really exciting basically just because we have so many new faces. It's kind of a fresh start for us to kind of say, hey, this is Missouri Western Volleyball. We're ready to show you how much we've improved over the past year and what we can do this season.
You know, coming into this season, we've got 8 sophomores, I believe, on the roster and 6 freshmen, which makes us really heavy in the underclass. But the good thing is some of those sophomores have had, you know, significant court time last year, as well as a couple of our juniors.
I feel like we have a lot more confidence now. Like last year we were all kind of like, like hesitant. Well, I just think that last year we were all young and like just nervous, you know? And then now we're just like, okay, we've been here before.
You know, the biggest strength we've got going for us is the team chemistry that we're going to have this year. We've got a group of girls that like to be around each other. They're going to play well with one another. And those types of things will earn you more points in a match than people realize sometimes, and it's one of the things that you can't coach.
Like we all get along, and we have high expectations of each other.
Chris opened the season this Friday in Aberdeen, South Dakota, with games Friday and Saturday in the Northern State University Volleyball Classic.
Meanwhile, Griffin soccer ready to take a huge step forward this season. Western 4-10 a season ago, but the pieces are starting to fall into place, both on the field and off.
You know, every day we've gotten better.
They are hungry.
We can only go up. Like, I want to win.
and they have stability.
I'm feeling much better about this season.
In August 2011, Chad Edwards came to Missouri Western as a first-year head coach, just a week before practice began.
Just getting settled in and getting used to everything.
A year later, it's time to focus in. The Griffins hoping to improve on a 4-10 record from 2011.
I mean, there's a lot of new people, so it's just interesting to see how we all put it together this year, because obviously after last season, we need to step it up.
There's motivation to do so. This year's preseason MIAA conference poll has the Griffins at the bottom.
All over her, Margot, all over her.
That just kind of added fuel to my fire.
But it gives us a lot of motivation to prove everyone wrong.
While this is still a young group, it's one that returns a key core of players, including all-conference goalkeeper Kelly Voits.
I would say she's top 10 goalkeeper in the country, definitely the top goalkeeper in our league.
This is my last year, and I want to go out with no regrets. I want to be a leader in the net, and I want to stop all the balls I can to help my team.
So I think defense could be really strong, and I mean, if defense is strong, then it just all fall into place.
The attention this season turns to offensive production. Western scored just 14 goals last season.
We did a nice job of keeping the opponents out of our net last year. But we need to score more goals. That's what it boils down to. So that's our big goal this season.
The pieces of the puzzle are in place on the field and off. Renovations to Baker Fitness Center this summer gave the team a new home in the form of a brand new soccer locker room. It's the first locker room the program can call its very own.
It's just like your jaw just drops. Like going from nothing to first class.
I would put this up against anybody in the country at our level, and it's a very special place, and our players deserve it.
But success isn't measured by a fancy house. It's earned here, on the field, where the Griffins hope to prove the polls wrong and prove something more to themselves.
I'm a fighter, and I don't want to go out my last year a loser.
No more excuses. So it's time to take the next step forward.
The most helpful physical therapists in the world on dodgeball.
You'll never know when three-dimensional flexibility will come in handy. Stay healthy, my friends.
It has been a sensational banner summer for former Griffins. Greg Zuerlein, of course, drafted by the St. Louis Rams in the NFL. 2007 graduate Bryce Garnett played golf in the U.S. Open this summer. 2012 grad Jessica Cook signed to play pro basketball in Bulgaria. And 2004 Griffin graduate Larry Taylor played for Team Brazil in the Olympics just a few weeks ago. Welcome back. All Griffins reaching professional sports pinnacles, Brett Easley.
Tell you what, that's good stuff. And you knew those student athletes had it in them too. Neat to see them do well. Speaking of pros, spine and sport physical therapist Fred Schunkweiler returns to train like the pros.
Okay, we're here with Griffin soccer players Ashlyn and Ashley to talk about a dynamic warm-up for soccer players. You know, warming up before an event is so critical. Many reasons. Injury prevention, sports performance. We got to warm up those muscles, and we want to do so dynamically. So we're going to have a demonstration here of what some of the dynamic warm-up is that the soccer team does. They're going to get started here by doing some high knees, and they're working on getting those knees up high and moving fast. On their way back, they're going to do some butt kicks. This fires those hamstrings. Hamstrings are so critical for a soccer player and how they have to plant and kick. So now as they move on, we're going to get into some karaoke. We want those hips to rotate. And the footwork involved with this also is important. The speed. And then as we finish here, we're going to demonstrate a toy soldier, which is a good kick. Soccer players do a lot of kicking. That hamstring has to lengthen many times during a soccer match. That's dynamic warm-up. That's doing so at a fast pace, blood flow. We want to help prevent injuries. We want to warm up those muscles before we get started. A dynamic warm-up is the best way to do that. So what we do, we train like the pros at Spine and Sport.
I am the quarterback. My job is to lead the march. Go ahead, sick the dogs on me. I can take it. You can hit me, you can knock me down, but I will get back up. We will march on. I'm Travis Partridge. This is Griffin Football.
Welcome back. We finished GSI with your favorite segment.
People are shaking at home. They can't wait for this.
We've got Pick'em, but we
Withdraw.
first begin with role play.
Oh, yes. Who am I this week? I can't wait.
This week, Brett Easley, you are Chiefs head coach.
Yes.
Romeo Crennel.
I'm him 15. Once a month.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
Here's the thing. Your Chiefs, after winning their preseason opener, haven't done diddly donk since then. What is
diddly donk? We haven't done diddly donk. I'll tell you what our problem is. Our best corner's out. Our nose tackle situation, it's not very good right now. We're young and inexperienced. Kendrick Lewis is out at safety. Our defense is a sieve right now, but you know what? I'm not going to panic until it happens in the regular season.
I say 6-10, but whatever. It's my turn.
Ryan Menley, you're Lance Armstrong. You're banned for life from cycling. You're one of the all-time greats, and you're not fighting it? Say it's not so.
Well, I'm not fighting it just because I'm tired of fighting it. And you know what? Here's the thing. If I did use drugs, I'm a cancer survivor. I was given a 10.
You got nothing to prove. Live strong.
And I won. And you know what? I've raised millions of dollars for cancer research. I've won those Tour de France titles. The French hate me anyway.
You've made your name. You're still a celebrity.
I don't even care at this point.
We love you, Lance.
Hey, let's get to the MIAA Pick'em.
Down to business.
It is. It is. And you know what? I was the world champion. It's not yours.
But you know what it is? We're 1-1. I won your 1. You won your 2.
But I've got
this is grudge match right now.
It is. This is the rubber match. So let's go right at it. MIAA football.
Yes. Good games
pick
this
the winners. That's right. For the openers, defending national champ Pitt State at Northeastern State of Oklahoma. Pick the winner, Brett.
Pitt State's got a few new names, but I tell you what, defending national champion. That game will be closer than a lot of people think. They win in week 1 on the road at Northeastern State.
I agree and concur. Next, Nebraska Kearney. Welcome to the MIAA. You're at Washburn to start the season.
Welcome, Lopers. It's no cup of tea in Topeka, Kansas. Tell you what, Washburn's got some new faces too, including a new signal caller. I think it's close. They win in week 1. They beat Nebraska Kearney. I am taking the
Give me the Lopers.
Wow.
Taking it an upset.
Lopers in their first game in the MIAA.
Fort Hays at Emporia State. 2 middle-of-the-pack teams. What do you got?
Well, which way are they going? Are they going up? Are they going down? I think Fort Hays State has a chance to go up this year. They win in week 1. They beat the Hornets on the road, Fort Hays State.
I don't think so. Give me Emporia at home in week 1.
Wow.
Truman at Southwest Baptist.
Woo! They're lining up now for tickets, aren't they? Tell you what, an SBU team last year, they played okay. Truman played good at times. Give me the home team. SBU wins at home. They beat Truman State final year in the MIAA.
Give me SBU as well. And now on to Division 1.
Here we
go.
Yes.
Big 12 teams. KU opening with South Dakota State.
That's right, the Jacks. Who do you think Drew Newhart's rooting for? He's at South Dakota State now.
As a grad assistant.
He's rooting for his Jacks, but I think KU wins. They won't get upset in week 1 like they did last year. KU wins. Charlie Weiss in his KU debut.
I forgot Charlie Weiss is the head coach. I guess I'll give it to KU just on that accord. Number 22, K-State, hosting Missouri State this weekend. The Bears.
The Bears. Bill Snyder's got his Sansa-Belt iron. You know what? K-State's not going to struggle with the Bears. They beat Missouri State.
I agree completely. And in the SEC, at least one SEC team, that new
That's
team,
right.
the Missouri Tigers.
Yeah, just down the road. We're ready.
Southeast Louisiana State. Who you got?
Tell you what concerns me here. Missouri's offensive line, what are they doing in practice? Seems like a new one drops every week, but they'll beat the Ragin' Cajuns in their SEC opener. Mizzou rolls at home.
Mizzou by 50. I'll take that. And also this Thursday night, the MIAA opener, the season opener, the home opener for the Griffins. Paint It Gold Thursday as the Griffins take on Central Missouri at 6 p.m. A lot of stuff going on.
Well, there is. Pratt Stadium place you want to be. It's United Way night. We do that annually every year. Settling tailgate begins at 4:30 p.m. All of those proceeds go to United Way. There's a 50-50 raffle going on, a children's book giveaway. The crowd reaches 6,000. Somebody in the crowd's going to win a $100 Visa gift card. Pretty special. All the proceeds go to United Way of Greater St. Joseph.
Hopefully see a pretty good football game, too. A good Griffin win.
I think, well, we hope so. And going to be a formidable opponent. Central Missouri, a good opponent. Really going to be really neat Thursday night at Pratt Stadium. A lot of gold.
That's GSI for this week. We'll see you back here next week. And as always, Brett.
Ladies and gentlemen, paint it gold. Go Griffs.
I am a running back. My job is to carry the load. Need an inch? I'll take a yard. Maybe 10, maybe 30. Give me room and I'll be gone. Get in my way and I will run you over. I'm Michael Hill, and this is Griffin Football.